Now I get asked quite often, how do you go about making a three-phase generator, particularly when it comes to serpentine coils? And the somewhat unsatisfying answer is, wind three separate coils and stick them in there next to each other, you'll have yourself a three-phase generator. It truly is that simple. Now, before people go, well, that's not good enough, or a team of electrical engineers decide to lynch me, let me go into that a little bit more deeply. When people were first playing around with generators, the chances are it looked exactly the same as every science demonstration you've ever seen about how generators work. It would have been a single coil in a fixed magnetic field. If you measure the voltage and plot it against degrees of rotation, what you'll get is a sine wave. Incidentally, you'll get exactly the same thing if you plot it against time, because of course rotation and time are related to each other. So you can have degrees of rotation or time and you will get the same sine wave. Now when they first did this, of course, they looked at it and thought, oh hey, look at that, we're generating electricity. But there's an awful lot of space there, there's only one coil. How about I put two coils in? Now if you're rotating something, you don't want it to vibrate off the axis, of course what you do is make it nice and even. So rotate a coil about 180 degrees and you'll get two outputs. And they will be 180 degrees apart, or the same time apart, because they're on a rotor and they've been glued and fixed and are turning at the same speed and turning through the same degrees of rotation. But of course, there's still lots of space, and it occurred to somebody to put three coils in there. Three separate coils, 120 degrees apart, and that is pretty much the origin of our three-phase system. Now, of course, you could keep on doing it. You can have 5 coils, 9 coils, however many coils you want. This is why Tesla referred to it as the polyphase system. But of course there's a trade-off. The more phases you add, the more complicated and expensive it becomes, and it turns out that 3 phases gives you the best advantage for the least cost in terms of generation. And that's why we have a 3-phase system. And to make a 3-phase system, all you really do is wrap 3 coils and rotate them around 120 degrees from each other, and you'll have a 3-phase generator. Okay, that's all pretty standard and gives us a nice even output where the peaks of output are nicely spaced apart. However, that's a bit of an illusion. It's actually only that way because we made it that way. We built the rotor with them physically at 100 degrees separation, and they're all on the same rotor. So they turn at the same speed, and so it looks like the electrical degrees that we're mapping is identical to the physical degrees that the rotor moves through and that the coils are separated from each other. But let's say, for instance, we use a mechanism where we have a constant input and a variable output. If we were to map that, we would find that the electrical degrees were offset from the physical degrees. And you might think that's a little obtuse, but like everything, this was experimented with. The reason we like them nice and even is because when we're using them, we tend to use them to run motors. We want those motors to run nice and evenly. But you can have situations where the degree of rotation and the electrical degree of separation of the phases aren't the same. What matters here is not the amount of rotation that the rotor's had, but the time at which the coil passes the magnet. When the coil passes the magnet at time, that's what defines the electrical degree of rotation of the sine wave, not the rotation of the actual drum, the rotor itself. And that might seem a little difficult to get hold of, but actually it's a really important point. We somehow have confused ourselves that the amount of rotation in physical terms equals the amount of rotation in electrical terms, but they're not equal to each other. When we want an output, what we want is electrical degrees of rotation, and that may not be the same as physical degrees of rotation. Okay, so what does that mean for us in practical terms? Well, here I've got 3 identical serpentine coils, and we're going to lay them up one against each other, which is what will create the 3-phase supply, 1 phase from each coil. And you can see I've bent them over at the ends a little bit, getting ready to do it, because all we actually do is put them side by side, like I said. So that one will go there, and then that one will go there, and then that one goes there, interleaving them so they're side by side. Then we take the third coil and we do exactly the same thing. That one goes there. That one goes there, that one goes there, so they're side by side. And as you can see, it's a little bit of a fight, so what you need is a former. So something like this would be a good former, where each leg of the coil is stuffed into one of those recesses, with 3 recesses taken up by the 3 separate coils, and you're aiming for something like this, where they're basically just side by side. And what that means is, for one time period that the magnet spends crossing those 3 legs, exactly 1/3 of the time is spent crossing each leg. So although in real terms of rotation it's only a few degrees, the electrical output will be 120 degrees apart. So if you think about it, we've come right back to what I said at the beginning of the video. If you want a 3-phase serpentine coil generator, wind 3 different coils and stuff them in there side by side, you'll have a 3-phase generator. Now, I would question why you're bothering. Because as you saw with me folding it up, it's actually a bit of a chore to do it, to be honest. And do you really need to do that? I mean, when you think about what the advantages of 3-phase are, then they don't really match very well with home generation. 3-phase is better for things like distribution, or if you're going to run a motor where you need the magnetic field to be rotating. It's very simple to do that with 3-phase. But at home, what you're probably going to do is convert it all into DC and charge a battery bank. You don't get a performance improvement from 3-phase in terms of generation. That's not what 3-phase is for. You get a performance enhancement in transmission and for using it with motors. It's why in homes it's all single phase. There's no benefit to having 3-phase in a house. If the main load is resistive like lights and heating, there's no point. When industry it's used, because motors are used a lot and the motors are cheaper if they run off 3-phase. It's cheaper to distribute 3-phase because you use 4 wires instead of 6 to transmit the same amount of power, and so they're more proficient and efficient and energy dense for transmission. But in terms of the generation side of it, then there's not a lot of point to it. But if you want to do it, that's how you do it. And if you want to know a bit more about why I don't think there's much point, I'd be happy to do a video on that. But I hope this one was helpful. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching. And please do remember to like and subscribe.